We found the boy covered in blood, screaming, eyes wide, face pale and gaunt. It was the worst crime scene I'd have ever come across. And on Christmas of all days. The child was curled up under the tree when the officers first responded. Neighbors had been able to hear screaming. That's how loud it was. The child's throat was torn up from it. One of the physical reasons he wouldn't talk to us. But we all knew the real reason. He couldn't speak of that day. Weeks went by. We caught no one. Doctors had tried everything to get the boy to say something. Anything. Eventually, someone suggested a form of hypnotic therapy. To make him relive that day could break him permanently. Turn his mind to mush. If it wasn't already. We were desperate. The press was on us. Public opinion pressuring everybody involved. I couldn't sleep. Couldn't eat. I had to find them. Find whoever was capable of such atrocity. We set the boy's session off the books. If anything went wrong, I was going to take the fall. This was my case, my decision. Here is the transcript of his story and his words. I am always supposed to close my eyes when I'm in bed on Christmas Eve, no matter what. Mommy says it doesn't matter what I hear. Keep your eyes closed and fall asleep as fast as you can. Santa won't leave your presents if you're awake. I have been such a good boy this year. I can keep my eyes closed. I know I can. I'm trying to fall asleep, and now I hear him on the roof. Clump, clump, clump. He's going to know I'm awake, and the song says I better watch out and better not pout. And he's going to leave the house when he sees that I am awake, so I close my eyes as tight as I can. I try to fall asleep. I really do. I promised Mommy and Daddy that I would. But I'm just too excited. Santa got my letters. I know he did. And he's going to bring me what I want for sure because I was good all year. Now I can hear him climbing through my window. We don't have a chimney, so this must be how he gets in every year. And oh my gosh, I can't believe Santa walks past my bed every Christmas. But I shouldn't even know this because I'm supposed to be asleep. Heavy footsteps. Clomp, clomp, clomp. Like when my daddy wears his boots in the house and Mommy yells at him. More footsteps. Clomp, 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 clomp. It sounds like more than one person. I can't help myself. I have to see Santa. And whoever is with him, so I open my eyes ever so little, just to peek. He's here, in my room. I hold my breath because if I don't, I'm going to just scream out. I'm just that happy. There's someone else here as well. A woman with Santa. It has to be Mrs. Claus. They're both wearing funny clothing, and Santa has a big bag where he has all the presents. Well, maybe not all of them, because you would need a bag the size of the moon. But my presents are definitely in there. I'm peeking just a little more now. I see them pass by my bed. She's stopping. Maybe she's looking at me. I see Santa shake his head at Mrs. Claus. Now they're leaving my room. I wait to hear them go down the stairs, but I have my eyes open just enough to see them walking towards my parents' room. I knew my parents knew him. They said they didn't, but my daddy is such a light sleeper. No way he wasn't going to know Santa was in the house every Christmas. He always hears me pee at night because I can do it myself now, and he always scares me talking out of the dark and asks if I need help, and I tell him no way, I most certainly do not. I can hear them talking right now. I hope my daddy doesn't say anything silly like he usually does. Don't ruin it for me, Dad. There are some loud thumping noises now. It sounds like when I jump on their bed in the mornings and I try to get Mommy out of bed. And it takes a lot of jumping before she's finally up. And then I know it's breakfast time, and usually I have pancakes. My parents must be really excited too. I know I would be if I got to talk to Santa every Christmas. And Mrs. Claus too. Oh boy, I sure would be jumping up and down on the bed. More footsteps. They're coming back. Now they're going down the stairs. I'm so excited that I have to go to the bathroom now. I know Mommy told me to stay in bed, but now I'm awake, and no way am I going to be able to go to sleep while Santa and Mrs. Claus are in the house. I tiptoed to the bathroom, which is right across the hall from Mommy and Daddy's room, but I slip in something wet on the floor. Ow! It hurts my head when I hit the floor. But I try really hard not to cry, because grown-ups don't cry. That's what my daddy says. The bang was so loud, though. No way my parents didn't hear that. I look into their room, but it's so dark. I can only see my daddy's legs, which are hanging off the bed in a really funny way. Then I hear a creaky creak noise on the stairs, and I look down and there's Mrs. Claus. She sees me. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no. I'm never going to get my presents now. I'm in such big trouble. But she doesn't yell at me. She just waves at me. I think she wants me to come down the stairs. I look towards my parents' room, but Mrs. Claus, she puts her fingers to her mouth like Mommy does when she wants me to be quiet. I get up off the floor and I can't see what I slipped in, but I can tell that it's warm and sticky. Ew, it's on my bum for sure. Mommy's going to have to clean it and I'm going to have to get in trouble again. Mrs. Claus is still waving at me, so I creep down the stairs because my parents must be asleep, and Mrs. Claus doesn't want me to wake them, so I'm super duper quiet as I go down the stairs. No creaky creaks. Mrs. Claus puts her arms out like the last time I saw her and Santa at the mall, so for sure she remembers me, and I give her the biggest hug. She smells funny, like the pennies I'm collecting in a jar so I can buy a house when I'm a grown-up like Mommy and Daddy. She picks me up and takes me into the room where Santa's giving us his presents. But it looks like he's taking away my presents. Oh no, I've been a naughty boy this year. Santa looks at me and his eyes are mean, and he wags his finger and makes a noise like my daddy does when I'm in trouble, and he sends me to my room, but now all I want to do is go to my room and get back in bed and sleep like my mommy told me to do. Santa's covered in red, but not like the red I saw him wearing in the mall or in my storybooks. This red looks dark and black, and he looks wrong. All wrong. His beard looks dirty and gross, and I start to cry. Mrs. Claus hits me on the cheek. It hurts so much. Mommy and Daddy would never hit me, even when I get in trouble, so we start to cry more, and Mrs. Claus hits me again, and it hurts even more. Santa comes closer, and he smells even funnier than Mrs. Claus, and he smiles, and he has gross yellow teeth that are sharp, and oh no, I hope he doesn't bite me for crying. I just hope he sends me to my room. He points to our fake fire that we put out because we don't have a real one, and our stockings are there, and there's something in one for my mommy and one for my daddy. They look big and round at the bottom, and whatever's inside looks like the time Mommy got Daddy bowling for his birthday, and he laughed because he's pretty bad at bowling. And my mommy laughed, and then he kissed her, and they were so happy, and I laughed too. And then Mommy picked me up, and she smelled like flowers. Mrs. Claus doesn't smell like flowers. And now her and Santa are laughing, but it's not funny, so I don't laugh. Mrs. Claus pushes me towards the stocking, and they want me to look inside, but I don't want to because there's something icky dripping out of the bottom, and I don't want to be here anymore. Santa pushes me hard, and he looks even meaner now, and I know I have to look inside the stocking. I take my daddy's stocking, and I try to lift it off the hook, but it's so heavy. Santa laughs, and Mrs. Claus laughs, and I cry because I don't think it's funny, and I just want my mommy and daddy. Santa grabs me and takes the stocking off the hook, and he turns it upside down, and my daddy falls out. But his legs are upstairs, and he's looking at me, but he looks scared, and now I'm scared, and I scream so loud that I wake my baby brother upstairs, who is such a good sleeper, and he starts crying. Santa looks at Mrs. Claus, and they both look upstairs, and he says Merry Christmas to Mrs. Claus, and then they smile, and then I scream. The boy stopped then. He couldn't go on. I put my head in my hands. He had given us something, but not enough. The boy's brother has been missing for 27 days now.